afternoon. That's a loaded question at Camp Widow. I am Kelly Lynn. I am a comedian. I am a viral TED Talk speaker. I am an author of the book My Husband is Not a Rainbow. I'm going to tell you what that title means during my presentation. And I'm a certified grief counselor. And of course, I'm a widow, or I wouldn't be here. So because I've been doing this presentation here at Camp Widow since 2013, can you imagine that? That's the first time I did this presentation was in 2013, and I've been doing it every year since, except for the one year they didn't hold it because of the pandemic, and it was virtual. I think I did it that year too, virtually. But because I've been doing it for so long, and because this is the last 3-day format, of its kind, as Michelle talked about earlier today, I thought we would do something a little bit different today, start out a little bit different today, and I thought I would give myself an opening act. What do you guys think of that? All right, I'm glad you liked that idea, because if you didn't, that would really suck. None of us would be happy. So I thought I'd give myself an opening act. So one of the things that I do offer as a comedian is writing coaching. So I help people to write comedy, or to write anything that they want to write. And so this lovely lady over here, who I'm about to introduce, has been one of my students, I guess we'll say. We've been doing Zoom calls for quite a few months together, and I have been coaching her and helping her to find her comedy voice and helping her to write a comedy set. And in the comedy world, a standard comedy set is anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, so that's what she's going to give you today. And we started out just writing kind of for fun. She had some ideas, really good ideas, and she just wanted some help kind of shaping them together. And about halfway through that process, one day I said to her, "Are you going to Camp Widow in San Diego?" And she said, "Yeah." And I said, "Do you want to be my opening act and do your debut comedy set at Camp Widow? How cool would that be?" It's the best audience in the world. You guys are so supportive and so awesome. And I just thought it would be so cool. And so that's what we decided to do, and that's what brings us here today. So she has been working her butt off, and this is the best crowd on earth, and you guys are going to love her. And I'm super, super, super proud of her, and she's very hilarious. So, eggs and butterflies, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between, please give your warm widow welcome to Miss Shelley Roth.
Opportunity to do something I never thought I would actually do. You see, lots of people sing in the shower and they think they sound pretty good, but usually not so much. I make up comedy routines in the shower. I think they're pretty funny, but I guess I'll find out soon. So I've been wanting to honor my husband Arnie in some way. And since I didn't get to freak out about having to speak at his funeral, since there was no funeral, thank you COVID, why not do something even more scary? And what better way to start my comedy career at the age of 70? Yes, I said 70. Get up in front of a group of people who have been literally traumatized and try to make them laugh. People who honestly thought they would never laugh again, and who have spent a lot of time feeling sad, lonely, and depressed. Just the qualities one really wants in an audience. But hey, since this is the last Camp Widow weekend in San Diego ever, if you all think I suck as a comic, who cares? I'll never see you again. We can all pretend like this never even happened. So please, be kind. Yeah. Some laughter would be nice, but I'd settle for a smattering of applause. Or even some polite golf clapping. Or a royal wave, or any gesture, just as long as it doesn't involve a middle finger. And Kelly, I do believe there's room for 2 BBFWs. Big, beautiful, funny widows. And maybe we just need a bigger room. So when I first thought about doing this, I decided on some rules. Rule number 1, no fat jokes. Fucking blew that already. Rule number 2, you guessed it, no cursing. Well, shit. Rule number 3, no politics and no religion. Thank the gods, I'm fucking sticking to that one. Hello?
Yep.
When I tell people that I'm going back to Camp Widow, I frequently hear something like, "Didn't you already go?" I answer, "Yes, I'm still a widow." Once a widow, always a widow. I didn't ask to be a widow. It's not like a genie popped up and granted me a wish and I said, "You know what? I think I'd really like to be a widow." So then I could qualify to go to Camp Widow. Where we sit around the campfire all day and night, crying and singing sad songs and eating junk food to stuff our feelings. That would be my biggest wish. 2, no one taught me how to widow. I guess I flunked Camp Widow last time. So I need to go back. Remedial Camp Widow. But Camp Widow is not Widow University. And you never get to graduate. 3, you just won the Super Bowl. What are you going to do now? I'm going to Disneyland. Didn't you already go? Said no one ever. 4, you've just been widowed. What are you going to do now? I'm going to grieve for 365 days. And on day 366, I'll be over it. You're all over it, right? Raise your hand if you're over it. Now this is when my CCK wants me to segue into the next topic. Weird word, segue. Segue? Segue? Segue. Isn't that one of those things that tourists ride on and stand up? So they can see all of Old Town San Diego without even adding one step to their pedometer. They hop off by expensive souvenirs, which will only add to the clutter in the back of the closet until they move, at which point they'll look at it and say, "Why the hell did I buy this shit?" This brings me to my next topic, clutter. My condo looks like a clutter bomb exploded in every room. It's just one big giant clutterfuck. In addition to my comedy coach, I now have a clutter coach. Zelda, my CCZ, that's for all you Canadians out there, comes over and helps me organize my bunches of stuff. Except, I can't find her anywhere. And speaking of bunches, I once saw a sign that said, 29 cents, bananas by the each. True fun fact, a bunch of bananas is called a hand, and one banana is called a finger. 29 cents, bananas by the finger. That doesn't really work either. And also, how much is a bunch? And what do you call a bunch of bunches? Bunchos? But of course, there's always the Brady Bunch. A bunch of nuns brought together largely through the death of one or more parental figures. It's unclear really, so let's break down the Brady Bunch for a minute here because I'm confused. In the pilot episode, there's a touching scene where Bobby Brady hides his mom's photo. And Mike Brady, a presumed widower, takes it out of the drawer, places it on the dresser, and says, "We never want to forget your mom." So naturally, they never mention her again for the entire And call me crazy, but Carol Brady is the most Disney-esque, happiest, rainbows and sunshine widow I've ever seen. Why doesn't she ever get hit with grief grenades? Where's her off-the-charts stress for having to raise 3 girls all by herself because her husband is dead? But hey, maybe I'd be grinning and giggling all day long too if I had a live-in maid to do all the cooking, cleaning, and decluttering for my entire family. Maybe Alice also does the grieving for Carol. Everybody needs an Alice. But I digress. Back to my clutter. I have so many books on decluttering that I need a book on decluttering books. I have books with titles like Clutter's Last Stand, Decluttering at the Speed of Light, The Gentle Art of Swedish Death Cleaning, Nobody Wants Your Shit, and my favorite book, Does This Clutter Make My Butt Look Fat? I once enrolled in decluttering school. No joke, it's a real thing. You just pay your tuition and you can spend all day watching other people decluttering. For the final exam, you just have to show your before and after photos. I flunked out because I couldn't tell the difference. There are so many different categories of clutter. There's kitchen gadget clutter. More about that in a minute. There's obsolete technology clutter. And of course, widow brain clutter, which probably explains why I found the remote in the freezer. My sisters and I always gift each other vegetable peelers. Don't ask me why. You would not believe how many different kinds of peelers there are. There are peelers shaped like birds or carrots or coconuts or kangaroos. And peelers with names like the world's best peeler, the king of all peelers, peeler, the don't ever buy another peeler until you try this peeler, peeler, the you really gotta peel, peeler, and of course my favorite, the does this peeler make my butt look fat? Peeler. Meanwhile, this is when I wish for a segue, so I could just hop on and make a quick exit before you all start to boo and throw stuff at me. But instead, I'll just wave and thank you all for letting me clutter up your already foggy widow brains with a bunch of quirky nonsense. And it's been an honor sharing my very first comedy performance with all of you. That I did not suck. My name is Shelley Roth. And if you thought I sucked, my name is John Cole.